Hey folks, Scott Grove, Dr. Groovy from GroovyMusicLessons.com here to teach you guys how to play harmonica, actually called cross harp. If you've never played before, fine. If you've never played an instrument before, this is not for you. Okay? This again is called cross harp. I'll show you what it means in just a few seconds. If all you have is that good old C harmonica, it'll tell you the key somewhere on it. I always put the stickers from the box on there, so that one's in D. What does that mean? That means the song should be in A. If that makes no sense to you, run away fast. No, it has to be in the fourth of whatever key you're in, your harmonica does. So if that means nothing to you, that means you probably aren't ready for this. Okay, I will explain it very well, and I will show this in 4 different keys. So I will have timestamps below for you in order to go to the key of the harmonica that you happen to have. Okay. What is sad is if you happen to have an E harmonica, that's only good for the key of B. Chances are you're not going to be playing a whole lot of tunes that are in the key of B. I do, so that's why I got the E harmonica. It's one of the best sounding ones, but a lot of people just don't play in B for some reason. Okay, again, what we have is if you have a C harmonica, that will be for a song that's in G. So you got a G chord. Okay, so it's for like the next chord, C. So that will name the key of your harmonica. But if you do have a C harmonica, that is for stuff like Mary Had a Little Lamb and Joy to the World, Christmas songs and so forth like that, stuff where you're just playing melodies, simple melodies. Cross harping is exactly what I just showed you. It crosses over from one chord to another and allows you to play blues and rock and so forth. Like this, I've got the D harmonica I showed you, so we're going to be an A. Then it's going to go to D. That's where we get our harmonica key from, is the 4 chord. Okay. We're in the key of A. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the do, re, mi thing. So the 4th note of the major scale, starting in A. So we want to play an A. That means we count to 4, and that's the key of harmonica we need. So we're going to be able to play over top of A, over top of D, back to A, to E, back to A. So very simple, just to show you the notes. Again, this little backing track is in A, and I will just show you very basic notes coming out of this D harmonica. Okay? Okay, so that's very basic stuff, but that's what I'm going to be teaching you. The basic stuff to get a solo out of you. Okay, so again, timestamps for whatever key harmonica you have, and that will also tell you what key the backing track is going to be in. Because yes, I will put a backing track for all keys, and I will basically give the same lesson over and over again in different keys. Okay, so starting off, we're going to be in the key of A if you have a D harmonica. Okay, so stick around, that's where we're starting at. And again, find out what key your harmonica's in, and that will tell you the key of the song and so forth, and the timestamps that are below. Catch you in a sec. Hey, welcome, and thanks for sticking around. Like I said before, I'm going to start this in the key of D, just as I did at the intro of this video. Backing track will be in A. So what we have, again, is if you are in the key of A, and you know your basic A, B, C, D, E, F, G scale, you know your do, re, mi, you can always find out what key you're going to need the harmonica in. So you start on the A, which is the key we're going to be in. Again, they are indexed and they tell you what they are. But If you ever just need to know right off the bat, it's the second chord in pretty much any blues or rock song you would play that would involve a harmonica. You just actually just start on the A, since that's the key of the song. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 4 is the D. So it means D harmonica. Okay, and here's what we have. We have 10 holes on the harmonica. Okay, they are on the top. That's where you want them. You don't want them on the bottom. Okay, you can see there are numbers on the harmonica. 1 through 10, you have a note every time you blow out and a different note every time you suck in. Okay, we're going to get funny stuff like that right there. Okay, yeah, we're going to suck, we're going to blow, we're going to tongue, we're going to shove this thing inside of my hairy hole. That just means I'm going to put the harmonica up to my lips because I have a beard, which leaves a hairy hole. I've been waiting to say that all day. Anyway, so yeah, when you're blowing out, that's called a blow. When you're sucking in air on a note, that's called a draw. Okay, just so you get these things happening. If we're going to tongue something, we're going to actually cram a tongue inside of a given hole that I'll give you the number to, and that is to simply block a hole so that you are not playing that hole, because our mouth is going to have to be basically about the size of a straw is how big the hole is going to have to be in your mouth. I mean, like really small in order to cover just one hole. So try that anywhere. Let's go to, since we're in A, okay, let's go ahead and get an A. It's going to be the third hole, or hole number 3 on your harmonica. And let's just see if you can make that one single note. Okay, it's a blow, so you just simply blow out. And you have to try to simply make your mouth small enough to blow on that third hole. Okay, you heard a little, another note come in. Fabulous, if you want it. I'll show you where you'll want a couple notes at a time, especially if you're looking for train sounds or other things like that. Okay, so that's the deal. Leave hole 1 and 2 alone. We're basically not going to be using those. We're going to live basically at hole 3, 4, and 5. I'll toss a 6 and a 7 in there every now and then, but I'm not going all the way up to 10. Why? Because we don't need to. You can play solos real easy on just 3, 4, and 5. Okay, on holes number 3, 4, and 5, doing blows and draws on each of these. Okay, so your A note, again, third hole with a blow. Another thing real quick is on harmonicas, I have found that the best and the cheapest for the price are the Hohner blues harmonicas. They actually come in a blue case, okay, a blue plastic case. There's like Lee Oscar and all these other ones that are going to cost you a whole lot more, but in order to find out if you're any good at this or going to be any good at it, might as well not pay $80 for one of those. And I don't like them actually myself, those. I like these. They just do what I need them to do. And they're fairly disposable at $25 each. And so that's what I go for. The fourth hole is going to be the D. Okay. Ta-da! The key the thing's actually in. Okay. So that's where we're going to be hanging out. If we're in A, go to the D chord. Okay, if you draw on that D, which is the fourth hole, and do a draw, sucking in, that's your E. So there's your A, D, and E. Okay. Now what is extremely needed here is the ability and so forth to mimic these goofy faces and sounds that I'm getting ready to do. And I'm going to use words like thoy because it simply is the sound you make while you're basically whispering. But when you're doing a draw, sucking in, let's go to the fourth hole, that D note. Now we're going to change it from that D by doing a draw, which means sucking in. And we're basically going to suck this thing so hard that it will bend up to an E. Okay, so you've heard this a million times. Okay, and getting good at that is just simply doing it a few times. I'm doing the words thoy and toy. See what works best for you, but I'm not saying it, of course. I'm just mouthing it like if I had a talk box on my guitar. You don't actually say anything, you just move your mouth. Same kind of thing here, but you need to enunciate, again, even though you're not saying anything, but pretend you're saying both of those words. Try both words. So you're doing your draw going, okay, yeah, almost like you're trying to hock a loogie, but without going. That is going to be used in a little bit. You're going to want some spit. Yeah, I'm a poet, didn't know it. So, see, nothing's coming out real easy. It has to do with how you tilt your harmonica as well. You'll get used to it. Just keep working on this. I have it bent down just a little bit. And I'm saying thoy, but while I'm breathing in, try to just, yes, making that sound. Okay, you're trying to make almost the sound of a toilet flushing. The more suction you have, the more it's going to bend. Okay, there are reeds inside here, which are made of metal, that actually bend instead of just playing a straight note. Instead of, the more you suck in on them, they actually bend, and so does the note. Okay, if I get a few notes on the outside of this, meaning your 3-hole or your 5-hole, that starts to give you your train sound. Now I'm saying toy to toy to toy to toy, but all while breathing in and sucking the holy hell out of this thing. So just drawing like crazy. Like, so I'm saying toy to toy to toy to toy. Okay? So you have to be willing to make these goofy sounds, and I'm right here in front of you making a total butt of myself by sitting here going. So you can do it too. And toy. The best thing to do is, if you're embarrassed at all, go driving and do it while you're driving. It takes you don't even take your mind or head off the highway as much as you would if you were on a cell phone. So, or you can go park out in a cornfield somewhere and practice this where nobody can see you or hear you making gurgling, sucky sounds. Okay? So, I want you to do this little exercise. I want you to do a 3 blow and then a 3 draw. Okay? When you do the blow, I want you to do it twice. Okay? So, blow, blow, draw on the 3-hole. Now blow on 4. So you have. And then we're going to do a thoi. It's hard to get it. Okay, so together, and make it easier on me too. Again, blow, blow, draw, blow, draw. 3, 3. Suck in on a 3. Okay, then we're going to do another blow on the 4. And a huge thoi draw on the 4. Okay, the main thing here is to try to get separation of notes. Yes, you got to really close your lips enough, again, to get, barely enough to get some air out of there and in there, because you have to block all these other holes. Okay, if you get more than one note out of it, you're doing it wrong. And you need to simply tighten up your hole. Okay? You're super soaker, super sucker. So, blow, blow, draw, blow, draw with a thoi. Okay? Okay, so it's just the beginning of how a lot of solos will actually end up starting. Okay, so that's what I need you to do first. Okay. Now that note we're bending up to, that E, that is, of course, a natural in the key of A. That's just your simple fifth. Okay, so bending from the D up to it, if you can thoi enough to get it down to a D, is cool, because you're just bending in from A, the key our song is in, then you're bending up to an E note, which sounds great over top of the A chord. Okay, if you thoi enough, you can actually get that back down to a D. You can actually bring it down a whole step. It depends on the harmonica. If you have it wet, you'll see some people that actually stick these things in a glass of water, shake them off, and go at it. Fine. It does enable some people to actually get better bends. You can rust it too. Okay, so it depends on how much money you want to spend on harmonicas. If you're just using one harmonica all the time, like the D harmonica, and you're only going to play it by changing keys of Johnny Be Good from B flat down to A, and you're going to do Blue Suede Shoes in A, and you're going to do one more song in A, so a D harmonica is all you need, then, hey, you've got one harp and you've got a backup. Try a little water, see if that helps you bend all the way down, a whole step. It's very cool when it does. Okay, so that is our exercise for right now. Yeah, we're going to continue to do more. Now, if you can get some spit in there too. That's thoi with a hocker trying to develop. That gives you if you can't hear it, there is some actual water going on there. Why? Because I have spit in my mouth. You're going to get a lot of spit in these things. There's not a spit valve. It just comes out or runs down your face. Okay, so nobody sees it on my beard unless it's glistening. Okay, you can really hear it if your mouth widens up and you grab the 5 hole right next to the 4 hole. You could probably hear it there. It's really got a horka loogie there. Okay, sounding like a vacuum cleaner on the frets. Okay, that's a cool sound too, is to get that 5 in with the 4. So add that in with it. Now, yeah. You can do either the 4 down there next to the 5, or you can do the, the 3 next to the 4. Either one on side of the 4. You can do the 3 hole and the 5 hole if you want, along with the 4 that we're concentrating on. It's fine if either or both of those holes get in there. It just gives you that train sound or what have you. Okay, depends on what you want it to do. But it's very cool to have that control over that one note, the 4 draw. And then bring it in. Okay, again, that's a thoy. That's what I'm doing. I'm putting my tongue over there and I'm doing a block on that 4. And then I just move it out of the way. Okay, so I'm doing a tongue block on the 4. And as soon as I move it out of the way, it goes shoom and drops in pitch. Okay, because it just gets a big suck of air right away instead of just a gradual bend. Okay? Now, what's cool is what you see everybody else doing, which is basically holding this between your thumb and your first finger and taking your whole hand like this and cup the thing. Only like that. You're not actually doing this because we're going to do that with this hand. Okay, this is a nice way to do it. Okay, to put your hand over the harmonica this way, and your thumb is basically going to be touching your first finger or your middle finger, roughly like that. And then we're going to be flapping like a wing. You've seen people do this, but it gives you vibrato. Okay, you can do the whole, take the hand totally away from it and I'm doing nothing with my mouth other than holding a note. Okay, so you're just simply muting it. Okay, it's not totally muted because you can still hear it. So work on that, whether this bird method works for you or if taking the whole thing and clapping your hands like that works for you. Whatever it is, you want to shut up that hole. Okay? The hole here, not the hole on the harmonica. Okay, you're just wanting to make a cave-like thing around the harmonica. Okay, so from there, if you have a guitar on you or not, I'll turn on the backing track. Okay, so you can hit the high E string and check that bend. And you can hear it pull up and bend up to that high E. Okay? Now, from that, we can do this. Okay? I'm just going to be playing what I just showed you. Okay, so I was only using just the notes I showed you. As you could tell, it was very basic and not hard to listen to, but you can tell it needs more, which I'm going to give you. Okay, so we just had... Okay, Now where it sounds really good is when we're playing that bend note, that E, over top of the A, and then of course when it goes to the E chord. Okay? When we're doing a D, the second chord, it sounds fine to go back to the A, the third whole blow. Okay? Not up there. We're staying away from that. Why? Because only John Popper from Blues Traveler is allowed up there. Okay. Plus it would take 10 days to show you all this. So when we go to D, that A, third whole blow. Okay, there's your A. And then when we go to D, like I said, we can stay there. Back to A. Okay, or E, because E is in the chord of A. Then when we go to the E, that's where you want to really thoy it out, when you go to the E chord. And back to the A. Okay, so back to it. Draw on the 4. Blow. Draw on 3. Yep, I'm going to do a thoy on the draw on 3. And then finally blow on 3. Okay, so both of those can bend really easy. There's a lot of notes on here that just can't and won't. Okay, so both draws on the 3 and the 4 will work. Okay. Okay, no need to do it when you're going up because it just sounds funky. But coming back down, it sounds good. Okay, it sounds down and dirty there. A lot of people actually use microphones that go into guitar amps with a little bit of distortion on them and then mic those up, and it sounds really cool. Little tiny tube amps like a Fender Champ from way back when. That's what a lot of people use. Unless you just want to use your vocal mic and make it sound clean. It's up to whatever you want to do. Or if you're just sitting around and want to play harp by yourself, then don't use a mic. Okay, just ideas. Okay, so again, just those notes. Now that you know what I'm doing, I'm going to go back from the A. I'm going to start there. And I can go ahead and go up to the 4 draw, the thoy thing, and get that high E note. Okay, and then when the whole song here goes to D, I'm going to go hurry up and get back to the A note, or the blow on 3. Okay, when it goes up to E, I'm going to really bend, on that thoy, the draw on the 4. And right before it goes back to the 1 chord, the A, I'm going to do the draw, blow on 4 draw, 4 blow, 3 draw, 3 blow. So on the E, okay, so again, just so you understand it again, that should clear it up. Okay, so that is that. Showing you again, we play the A note, which is the blow at the 3, over top of the A. When we switch to D, A is part of a D chord, so we can stay right around there and, blow a couple more notes. But we can basically circle in on that A note again. We go back to A on the chord progression. We can play that A note, third whole blow. or play around with the 4-hole draw with the toy and the thoy going on. But really dig in when we go on to the E chord with the thoy, toy, whatever you want to do. That's just letting up, doing the hocker, all that stuff. You'll see how that works. And then finally the backward. Okay, you hear a double time on the 3 draw. It just sounds good in there. It's a nice little lick. Okay, going up to another place. Is simply going up to our 5-hole. Okay, that sounds really cool with another thoy. On the 5-hole, it has a different bend. It barely does it, but you can hear it. Okay, what I did that next to the last note was a 2 blow. Okay, 2nd hole blow, and then 3rd hole blow. So that is 5 draw, 5 blow. Now everything else is a draw, blow, draw, blow. Until the very last one, when you do the blow on the 3, we do a blow on the 2, and a blow back to the 3. Okay? So everything is 5 draw, 5 blow. 4 draw, 4 blow. 3 draw, 3 blow. 2 blow, 1 blow. And if you happen to get a couple extra notes in there where your mouth is letting some external notes come in, that's fine if that's how you want it to sound. Okay, so that's slop. It's just like, counting bad shots on a billiards game, playing a pool game. Okay, you've heard it a million times. Use it when you want it. It's music. Do your own thing. Okay. Okay, that's going up to 6. And that gets you back to A. Okay, it's a weird way that this one does. Here's 5, blow. Okay, when we did the draw on 5, so here's blow and draw on 5. Now we're going to move over to 6 and continue with a draw. And when you do your blow on the 6, you are back to A. Okay? Okay, so that's just another little thing to work on. It's there if you want to use it, and I think you will. If you go all the way up to 7, that's a D note. It'll work, of course, when you're in D. It will not work on any other chord. You can use that as a passing note, of course, but that's what it is. One thing you might want to know about this stuff to make sure you're doing your things correctly is a little lick that I love to do, which is okay, so the Beatles, Love Me Do. Okay, you can do this on any key of harmonica, and it will always be the same holes. The song's actually done in G, so it would actually be a C harmonica if you wanted to play the song. But that's a perfect one to just simply get your technique down. Okay, so we're looking at 5, and we got to bend it. So a thoi or a whatever that makes you bend it now that you've worked with, hopefully. So we do a draw on 5, blow on 5, draw on 4, okay, so after our draw on 4, we're doing a blow on 3. Okay, so we do a few of them actually on the 4. Okay, so you've heard it a few times. You see how it goes. If not, you're going to be right here on YouTube. Look up Love Me Do by the Beatles. Okay, hear how it sounds. Okay, 1, 2, 3, bends on the 5 draw. Okay, so sometimes it does 1 thoi on the 5. The second time it does 3 of them. Okay, so from the beginning. Okay, there I'm just doing 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, back to the 2 and the 3, all blows and sucks. Okay, we've went over that one before, which was the okay, we did that earlier, if you don't remember. If you don't remember, go back. It's the only one we've actually learned an actual lick on that goes backwards, okay? Except for now. Okay, so that's a great thing to practice on, is the Love Me Do lick. Okay, so now we can actually go up and hit the other note, the 5 with the draw. And that's putting in the 2 blow. That's just a blow, draw, blow, draw, blow, draw, blow, draw. You'll hear it. Okay, now that is 6. Getting back to the A. First one, of course, is a suck in. Okay, your draw. And if you want to end on a high A way up there, there you go. You're just up to the 6 instead of the 3. It's only 3 holes away. You can't really go bad with it. So see if you can tell what I'm doing. I'll use up to the 6 holes this time, and then I'll just kind of get out of here and go to another key of harmonica. Okay, so here's the backing track. I'm going to start off I'm actually going to start off with a 4 draw. It sounds cool. That's with the thoi thing going on. So that was everything that we have learned, except for actually just playing Love Me Do. I just went up to the 6th note and did a thoi and a blow on the 6 at the end. But again, that was starting with the high E, not really that high, right away when we're in A, because there's your E note. Okay, it's nice to get that 5 hole in with your draws, especially if you're doing it this way. It's nice to start with the thoi thing going, because we have a lot of time that we're going to be on the A and the D, where we're going to be stuck on that A note for the most part of it, okay, down at the 3 blow. So again, here we are playing the E, or the 5 note. Okay, so there we are in D, and I'm playing the A note, the 3 blow, because it's part of the chord. The A is part of the D. And then when we go back to A, I have the choice of staying in A or doing the thoi thing again on 4, but I can actually add that real hard one when we go to the 5. Okay, so don't forget your hand, okay? It's a big part of it. Okay, so work on seeing what that does for you, different ways of tilting it in order to get your thois to happen, and getting some hockers in there, just some spit. If you can find a way to get some spit, or just dunk it in some water real quick, shake it and play, try that too. If all else fails, not that anything's going to fail, maybe have a damn cloth, a rag laying there, man, and you can just kind of bang your harmonica against it. Is it going to hurt anything? No. If you dunk your harmonica in water and slap it a couple times on the rag, there you go. Just gets rid of the extra water instead of throwing it on a stage floor where you might slip and bust your butt. So there you go, the D harmonica, for all you folks that are going to be playing in the key of A. Okay? Everything else, I mean, just play along with it. You got to... It looks like a D note. Yeah, all the way at the bottom. You're never going to use it, but there it is. Okay, so again, try everything outside of this, but that's where your comfort level is going to be, and the majority of your solos. You're not going to hear these high notes again unless you're doing weird blues traveler music or Christmas songs and so forth, okay? So, going to move on to, anyway, another key. Stay groovy. Okay, welcome to playing along in the key of E, and we're going to be using your A harmonica, okay? Again, yep, we're playing the key of E, again called cross harp. It crosses the boundaries of all reasoning here. Okay, this is exactly as the lesson was before this, but hopefully use the timestamp and you're going up to the part of your interest, okay? Now, the weird thing about the A harmonica is it does not project real well. So in the key of E, which kind of sucks, your harmonica is really weak. Compared to, like, say, in the key of A when you're using your D harmonica. The D harmonica is really strong and really sticks out there. The A harmonica for the key of E really don't. It's really low. The notes are low. Can you go up higher? Yeah, but the notes aren't laid out to anything that's going to make any difference for you. So you better have a mic that is strong as all get out if you're going to be playing one of these puppies in this key. Okay, but of course you can sit around like this and learn the thing. Okay, backing track is here, and what we're going to do first here is just simply teach you that we have to blow, we have to draw. Again, blow is to blow out. I'll give you the number of the hole. Again, we have numbers on the top. We want this on the top. We want the 1 by our left ear and the 10 hole over here by our right ear. And we're basically going to concentrate, especially right now, on the first part of this lesson anyway, on the hole number 3, hole number 4, and hole number 5. Okay, so we're going to have blows and draws. We're going to have what's called a thoi. That's where you actually sit there and go thoi. Yeah, that's a draw when you're breathing in. Yeah, looks stupid, I know. And sometimes we're going to have to get some moisture in there. Sound like a toilet. Okay, sucking down. But it's got to be done. It's really about the only way to get some of these things to happen. That's like this. I'm saying thoi, oi, 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 but it's all going thoi, oi, 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 going inward. Thoi, oi, oi. And that was a 5 hole being thoid. Okay, so on your 3 hole is where we're going to start with a blow. And again, you have to make your mouth small enough that it only covers 1 hole at a time. So really work on this. So it's like that. So you don't hear any more than 1 note. Okay? If you hear more than 1, close it up some more until you're only getting 1 note at a time, 1 hole at a time. So hole number 3, I always put my tongue in there. I actually tongue it, which means blocking it. Sometimes I have to put it up to my lips and count over 1, 2, 3. That's sweeping my tongue over to the left and count 1, 2, 3. That's where I'm going to start playing. Hole 1 you'll probably never use. Hole 2 you'll barely use. But I'll show you in this lesson where you're going to use hole number 2. That's just right before you go to hole number 3 on a little lick. Okay, so we have hole number 3. Okay, and we are in the key of E. That is your E note. Okay, so when you do a draw on hole number 3, it's hard to do on the A harmonica. It really is. It's not hard on like the D harp, but it's tough on here. It really is to get that to happen. Okay, so again, blow and draw. That's a blow on the 4. Okay, so let's do blow, draw on 3, then blow on 4. Now when we do this draw, this is where we're going to be doing the word toy or thoi or whatever, but as we breathe in, or you can just do that, but sometimes that's actually your tongue hitting the hole when you're saying thoi. So it's blocked at first, so no air can get in, then all of a sudden that helps it bend. Okay, there are reeds inside here, and if you bend one, it really goes down, you know, so you're in E now. When we get up to that B, and you want to get like a 7th, which is what's going on here. You're trying to bend it down to that. That's where I use the thoi with the tongue covering hole 4, and then thoi. Okay. Also, to get this, you might have to bend the harmonica down a little bit when you do that. Just a little bit. Right there, and to make it happen, that's the noise my mouth was making at the time. Just so you know. I know, you can laugh. It's what has to be shown and taught, though. Okay. And then the more you let up on that and continue to suck or draw and let go of it into normal, it bends back into place. That's Okay, really throwing down on it and then sucking back up. Now I'll go thoy, th, 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 thoy, but in. That's actually more of a toy instead of a thoy, a toy. So I'm going toy, toy, toy. I'm adding hole number 5 in with that. Maybe a little bit of 4. That's just if you're wanting that trainish sound. You can do that. Okay, you can add that in. Add them after the fact, like get that kind of a sound by adding the 5 hole, okay, along with your thoys. And again, that's on sucking in, doing your draw. Okay, so here's what I want you to do to work on this first lick is to do 3 blow, 3 draw, 4 blow, and then 4 draw. And try to do a bend like that with it. So you got that reed in there you're trying to bend. Then backward. So draw, blow on 4. Then draw on 3, blow on 3. Now 2 blow. And then 3 blow. So you got draw, blow, 4, draw, blow, 3, blow on 2, blow on 3. Okay, so you go forward, backwards. Get that, and you're off to the races. Another one I want you to do that is like that is, I'm going to jump right into it, is on the Beatles' Love Me Do. It's not in this key, but it's something to think about, and this employs the 5th hole. Okay, so... Okay, it doesn't go like that at the end, but that's incorporating hole number 5 with a toy or a thoy. Then blow. Okay, and this is almost the same as the other. So it's 5, draw, blow, 4, draw. And then we go right to 3. So we never blow on the 4 hole. We blow down on the 3. Okay. So 5, draw, blow. 4, draw. And then we're going to do 4 or 5 blows on the 3. That was a bunch of... Okay. Now I'm going kind of a instead of boy, I'm saying woy. It sounds like a little bit of toilet in there too. You can tell I'm missing my 3 note, my 3 hole. When that starts to happen, lick your lips. When you start getting sloppy, you got to get sloppier by licking your lips and your hole will cover. Because that's your lips getting dry and not going to, they're getting stuck on the harmonica. And they're not going to where you need them to go, and they're not focusing on one hole. They're just being drug across 3 or 4 holes, and that really sounds like crap. So moisten your lips a bunch. Moisten this part, the wood color. Give it a big lick. Give it another lick. It's yours. Don't let anybody else play it, ever. Don't be a dick and go play a harmonica at a music store and don't buy it, because that's against the law, actually. Okay? Not only COVID, but it's been that way since day one. That's why they have a big bellow, for like fires, to actually blow into the harmonica to make sure it works. It'll suck and it'll blow. If you ever wonder what those are there for, that's what they're there for. It is a sanitary risk to be licking somebody else's harmonica. Okay? So, you blow it, you buy it. Okay. Now, with the backing track, which is this, it's going to be E, A, E, B. Okay, so just typical 3-chord song. What is going to sound really cool here is the 4 thoi, or the 4 draw. Okay, so just getting that one right off the bat. Check it out. I finally went to the 3 draw, and finally the 3 blow. The 3 blow gets me back down to the low E. But that first one, that 4 draw, is what really makes it. Okay, and when we go into the A chord, we're still blowing around that 3 hole, because that's an A, key of the harmonica. But when we go back to E, we can dink around with that 4th hole again. So that's your B note. B is your 5th of your chord. And then when we go to the B chord, really sink your thoi into it, okay? So here is the B note, or 4 draw. Then I'm going to hang back out around the 3 hole. Then when it goes to the A chord, I'm going to hang around the 3 hole, okay? But when it goes to the B, or the 5 chord, I'm really going to sink my thoi into that 4 draw, okay? And I can also do 5 draw, okay? But for very basic purposes, here's this. Very, very basic stuff going on there. Okay, now you heard me go up to the 5 hole. So, stole it from there. So, put that in with the backing track and enjoy yourself. Okay? Backing track, let's just throw one time through for you right here. Here it goes. You guys can come back to this anytime and just play with it. So, here's those 3 chords. Okay, so there's something to play along with. But, okay, the other things to do here are we can go ahead and, again, like I said, take that 5 hole. and go up to the 6th hole now with a draw. Yep, I'm doing a big thoy there. If it don't thoy at first, bend it around, literally. And when you blow out on the 6th hole, that's back to E. Okay? So that's a good place to be if it's in E, instead of hanging around all the time down at the 3 hole. Okay, now we're doing Christmas music. We don't want to do that. So that's your 6th hole. That's a nice place to go up and work on from your 2 hole barely through your 3, 4, 5, and your 6 hole. Okay? So work on those. Work on doing this thing that you've seen everybody do. You hold your harmonica normally between your thumb and your first finger. The rest are just kind of like this. Whenever you're going to want to be doing some vibrato, some people will hold it and just kind of do this, cup it and do that. A lot of people will go like that. That makes a lot more difference if you're acting like you're clapping, because you get like a... Okay, so that back and forth a lot like that gives you a lot of vibrato. I will hold a note and use that only instead of using my mouth to do it. So that is done to taste. It's like vibrato on a guitar. However fast you care to do it. Okay, so that is that. Work on those and the little licks I just gave you. And the because that will teach you how to put more things together on your own. You'll feel this out, and get it in no time. It's stupid simple to get a solo out. To become great at it, like anything, it'll take a little time, but not nearly as long as any other instrument out there, basically. And then your 6th hole again to get back to E. Right there. Okay, so that's good to do, over top of the E chord. You can do the bend. And add in around your stuff whenever you're doing your thoys to do the... Add in a couple extra notes around it. On the higher register, if you're doing a bend on the 4 with your thoy, add 5, add maybe this, and you've got stuff you're familiar with hearing. Okay, so play along with that track I gave you and you'll have no problem. Okay, so I'm going to get into a different key here. Again, there are places to click to go whatever key you need. Okay, so check those out, and I'll be seeing you again and teaching exactly the same way on the next key of harmonica. Okay, folks, this time we are going to do the guitar in the key of G. Of course, we go to C, back to G, and D. Our backing track will sound like this, just typical basic blues. so you can use that to practice over. So in the key of G, yes, we use our harmonica that's in the key of C. Most of you probably have this. Most blues tunes, guitar players typically like to do blues in G. For whatever reason, they like to play slide in G, so forth. So if you have the key of C harmonica, and you're doing blues, probably a good thing. Okay, so what we have are blows and draws and thoys and other things. A blow is when you actually blow into a hole on the harmonica. The holes are numbered 1 through 10 here on the top. Okay, so you hold those towards you with the number 1 towards your left ear, number 10 towards your right ear. And again, the numbers here on top. Basically, I would hold it first finger and the thumb like this. The rest of them just kind of do as you will, because we're going to be needing to put our hand in front of it and doing some fun stuff here in a little bit for some vibrato. Now what's going to happen is we're going to use basically holes 3 through 5 for the majority of this whole thing. Why not go a whole lot past that? Really not a lot of need to. Most people won't do it. You may, of course, explore outside of this lesson because this is your beginner lesson. So we're going to do a blow, which is actually blowing out on hole number 3. We need to get your mouth hole closed like you're sticking a straw in it. Like that, so it covers only hole number 3, nothing else. We need one note. Okay, so that's hole number 3. Anything else, if you hear one more other note, your hole isn't small enough. You need a smaller, tighter hole. Okay, so that's hole number 3 with a blow. Okay, now a draw is when you're sucking in. Okay. Hole 3, doing a draw. Okay, now we're going to do hole number 4 as a blow. And then 4 as a draw. Okay, so 3, blow, draw, 4, blow, draw. Okay, you might have heard me do a slight little bendy there on the 4 draw. Yeah, this is where it starts getting cool. I get to make faces again. It's my 3rd round for different keys. Okay, we get to use the word thoy, or just, if you're not doing thoy, do the word toy. Okay, but you'd have to do it sucking in. So like thoy. Okay, so it almost sounds like you're trying to hock a loogie. It's trying to say the word thoy and sucking in. Okay, the T sound is actually sticking your tongue, it's just called blocking, sticking your tongue in hole number 4, and then pulling it out as you say thoy. Okay, so as I'm saying, doing the deepest part of my toilet sound here. That part there, the harder you suck on this thing and put your mouth around that one hole, the more it's actually going to bend flat. Okay, so if you can't get that to happen, you might bend it down this way a little bit. You hear a little bit of gravel or dirt in there, that is spit. Okay, that's a good thing. You might, a lot of people do, they'll take these things. There's a bunch of reeds in here, 10 reeds that bend up and down as you're playing, and they can be bent, and then they come back into shape, so bending them like that is a groovy thing. You take these if you want. if you can't get it on your own, fine. I haven't had to do this very often, but you'll see some harp players dip them in water a little bit, shake them off, pat them on a dry rag or something, and then those notes bend really easy. Okay, it might rust up on you though, and you might have to throw it away and get another one. So you decide what's worth it. Okay, so yeah, bending the forward draw is the really cool thing. So again, 3 blow draw, 4 blow draw. Okay, I'm really trying to get a bend out of that thing, and you should too. If you happen to hear another note come in, this is where we're going to start getting like the train sounds and the sounds that you're looking for to do blues stuff. I'm going to add hole number 5 in a little bit with it, with that 4 draw. Okay, now I'm just going. Okay, so just a. Yep, just like that, all still a draw. Okay, so you got to pace your draw or you're going to run out of air. Okay, so you can also do thoy, 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 or toy, toy. Again, they're all in breathing. So it's like thoy, or toy, and you get this. Okay, so that's as dumb as it looks. That's how you get your sounds. Okay, and again, if we add in number 5 on that draw. Okay, and then before you run out of breath, do a big old toilet flush there, a big old thoy, and you'll get that bend. Without that bend or thoy or anything that I'm talking about, that's what you get. Okay, not nearly as exciting. Okay, we're going to add hole number 5 into the mix. So the same thing we've done, 3 blow draw, 4 blow draw. Okay, same thing, blow draw on 5. So blow. Okay, you can do the thoy again. Okay, now this here is going to be an actual lick and an exercise, what we just did. So we're going 3, 4, 5, all with a blow and a draw. Now backward. Blow. Down. Okay, so exactly backward of what you did. So going downward, now we have to do a draw, then a blow, then a draw, then a blow. Okay, so going up, we do blow, draw, blow, draw, blow, draw, all the way up to 5 from 3. Then after the 5, draw, blow. Now 4, draw, blow. 3, draw. Now blow. Now I want you to go to 2 on a blow, and then back to 3 is a blow. Okay, we're only hitting that 2 note as a blow for 1 time. So coming backward off the 5. Okay, so that's what we're getting out of that. If you need more time on that, rewind it. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Is getting all of that happening. Okay, the other one that we will incorporate into this whole thing is going to be the 6 hole. Okay, it is there to just add another 1. We're in the key of G, the 6 hole blow, is your G note, as is your 3-hole blow. And 6-hole blow. Okay, now what is going on? Okay, on the 6-hole blow, the draw is kind of cool too. Okay, with the thoy thing going on, you gotta practice saying thoy thing. You finally end up on the G. So you can add that into your little exercise you just did. Add the 6 blow and draw. For when we are in G, we're down here on the 3. Okay, so we're on hole 3 and hole 4. You can either stay on 3 as a blow. When you suck it in or do a draw, that's the 3rd of the chord, or B. Now, when we go to the 4-hole, this is the coolest part of the whole thing, is that 4-hole draw. That gives us the D. Okay, that is part of the G chord, the D note is. Okay, so we can use that right at the very beginning if we don't want to do the 3-hole blow. Okay, here's a 3-hole blow with the G chord. Okay. Okay, or you could do the 4-hole draw, which is that D note, which is ultra cool, and especially, of course, when we go to the D chord. But 4-hole draw with a thoy. Okay, so you get the drift. The whole thoy thing is the 4-hole draw. Okay, that's during the D chord and a lot of the G chord. When you go to C, you're going to basically need to go back down to the 3-hole blow. Okay? It's the way it is, because there is no D note in a C chord. Okay, we have the 4-hole blow is your C note. So when you go to C, you can either play 3-hole blow. Okay. When you go to C, or okay, so you basically have either the 3-hole blow or the 4-hole blow when you're in C. You don't have a thoy of a chance to throw in there. So again, over top of the 1 chord, the G, you have 3-hole blow. The 4-hole blow will not work because it can be used in passing. Just that quick. You don't want to stay on there because it's actually just a 4 of the G chord. So it's the C again. But using that 4-hole draw with a thoy thing going on is great over top of the G. And then you go to C. That's your 3 and 4 blow. Back to G. You can use your 4-hole draw. Back to the G note, the 3-hole blow. But when you go to that D, Okay, really thoi the hell out of it. And maybe even throw in the 5th hole with it. Okay, you can start making your train sounds and stuff there. You can also do the train sounds right in the G by using the same 4-hole draw. Add a 5-hole in with it. Concentrate on getting the 4-hole draw though, and add the other ones as a background note if you're going to put like a 5-hole there with it. That was pretty good right there. Okay, now if you're going to be doing the hand thing like I showed you, you can do, this is the best way to do it. Sit there and act like you're almost clapping the front of the harmonica, because you have this. I'm not doing anything with my mouth at all. I'm just moving my hand in out of the way of the harmonica. Okay, so a matter of faster and slower. That's all that is. Okay, so using nothing more than hole 3, 4, and 5. Nothing more. I'm going to stay on the, that's it, those 3 holes right now with this backing track. Just to show you that I'm going to stick around on the, just for this, I'm going to stick around on the 3-hole blow during the G. When I go to C, I'm going to stick around that 3-hole and 4-hole blow, because it's a G and a C. Both of them are in C, the G note and the C note. Go back to G. I'm going to still stick around the 3-hole blow just to be boring. But when I go to that D chord, I'm going to do the thoi like crazy on the 4-hole blow. Okay? And that's that. Okay, so that's 3 and 4-hole only. Okay? Let's do that, and then I'll get on with the 5-hole. Okay, so that's just very basic. The 4-hole draw is the secret. I'm going to do the 4-hole draw during the G chord. Okay, so you can tell that sounds great because D is part of the G chord, and that 4-hole draw is the D. Adding the 5-hole with it. Okay, so I'm going to do the thoi on the 4-hole and add the 5 just a little bit during the G right off the bat. Okay, that whole thing there was again just the 4-hole draw with the thois. Doing that crap. Okay, now we can add in the 5-hole as a single note. Okay, you'll hear it because it'll be the highest notes in here. Okay, I went to finally the 6-hole. which brings you back to G again. After the thoi, you do a blow, and you're back to G. Okay? So, that's cool. It's exactly what I showed you with the... Okay? What you hear in there is Love Me Do by the Beatles. Okay? Is this the key they do it in? Yes, it is. They do it in the key of G, which is our C harmonica. It's the 5-4-3 holes. Okay? Okay, you've heard that a million times. That's the draw on the 5 hole. Okay? Blow. That's a draw on the 4. The nice fun draw. And then finally just blowing out on the 3 hole. So and when you're like, what is that? Wah, wah, wah. That's, again, exactly what it sounds like. Stuff with spit in it and going in. Okay? So that's a cool thing to keep in your brain, is that song, just for practice and how to get that melody going. Okay? So that's what's what. Not much more to it than that. You can explore a couple of the other holes, but they're so flippin' high. It's like dog whistle territory. It's not much use. It really isn't. Okay, so there you go, the key of G. And you have your backing track earlier. You can go along and just play right along with that thing. And again, play along with that little Beatles thing. And the little scale I taught you. And remember all your thois for your 4 and 5 hole. And even your 6 hole. 4, 5, and 6 hole, you can do thois and boys and and other things like that. Okay? Okay. Okay, welcome to yet another key. Here's the 4th key that I've covered. It's the last one I'll do today. These are identical lessons, so the same rules apply to every key that I've shown today. So if you've watched one, you've watched them all, except for your backing track doesn't match. That's basically what's going on. Okay, so we are in the key with our song, the key of D. So it's D, G, D, A, back to D. Okay, and we are using, since we're in the key of D, yes, our G harmonica. Okay, it's just the 4th. Okay, so if we're in D, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, up from D, and the 4th one is G. That's how we figure out the harmonica that we need to use. Okay, so the backing track we're going to use, again, D, G, D, A, back to D, which will be this. You can practice to this, okay? So I'm just going to let it run through you one time. Here you go. So that's what we'll be practicing along to in a second. But you can practice to that. Just keep going back and working with it. Okay, we have a series of things to tell you here real quick. Or I do. Okay, number 1, we have 10 reeds inside of here. The things that bounce up and down that make the vibrations to make the sounds of the harmonica. what they do is simply that. You breathe into them, blow out, or suck in, which a blow out is called a blow. Go figure. And to suck in, just to avoid saying the word suck all the time, that's called a draw. You draw breath in. Okay, so it's called a blow and a draw. And that makes each of the reeds in here either vibrate one way or the other way, because you can blow and draw in the same hole. Now what we have are the numbers 1 through 10 on the top of the harmonica right here. Okay. Now you hold it towards you so the numbers are on top still. The number 1 toward your left ear, number 10 towards your right ear. We're going to concentrate basically on holes 3, 4, and 5 for the most part. That's where you're going to get 90% of your playing on 3, 4, and 5. We will put in hole number 2 for one note, and we're going to put in a hole number 5. Yeah, 3, 4, and 5. We'll put in 6 just for fun at some point. Okay. 3 and 4 are the majority of everything you're going to do. 5 is cool. 6 is cool in its own way. Okay. So what we do here is have to get our mouth on a little tiny circle like we're sucking a straw, because it has to be just big enough to fit over one hole and one hole only on the harmonica. So look at that thing. So you got to get little bitty hole there. Okay. And put it over the third hole, hole number 3. You might use your tongue on there for a few times, then you'll find hole number 3 with no problem. Once you found that hole, all the other ones are just really easy to get to, because you're only going to be moving 1 or 2 holes in to the right for basically anything. So you're just going to try to do a blow on hole number 3. You heard at the beginning because my hole was not small enough. Okay, if you do a draw, it's hard on this harmonica for some reason. There it is. Okay, now we go to 4 and we do a blow. Now draw. Okay, what I did there, and we're going to do a whole bunch of it, and I'm going to look goofy doing it, is we're going to do a draw on hole number 4. This is the most important hole that you're going to have for today. 4, 5, and 6 on a draw. 4 being the most important. Okay, you're basically going to be saying words like the word thoy and toy and whee. But they're all going to be while you're breathing in. Okay, so if you're going to go thoy, yeah, it sounds like a toilet flushing if you do it slow. Yeah, that's a real thing. And or toy, or just a woy. If you get phlegm in there, not in your harmonica, because if you're doing a draw, you're just going to be swallowing it. But to have the sound of spit is fine. It's what actually gives some of the stuff its sound. Okay? So we're going to do right now just a blow and a draw on 3, then a blow and a draw on 4. So I'm going to do that. Okay. Okay. Get some smegma out of there. Smegma is gross little stuff that flies out of your mouth. Okay, what I'm going to do is get that thoy sound of me just doing it inward on the 4 draw. Okay, so it almost gets like a vocal sound. Okay, so it actually bends the reed inside there a little bit, so it goes a little out of tune, a little flat. A lot of the other harmonicas go flatter than this. The G harp just happens to not be one that likes to move. My 3-hole draw is a little bit clogged up, trying to get it undone. Hard to get a clear sound with it, but that happens sometimes. Okay, but anyway, to go on, yours might not be clogged, hopefully not. There, as I say, going, yeah, an inward hocker. Okay, that's what was getting that sound on the 4 draw. You might be able to get a better bend depending on how your harmonica is angled for certain notes. If it's not going to, if your 4, 5, and 6 holes will not draw with a bend, just work it real quick with your hands until it gets out of position that it makes a difference. Like here's the 5 draw. That sounds great. 6 draw. Perfect. Okay, that's the way they should sound on most harmonicas. They should be like that. Hopefully your 4 sounds that way. That one just don't want to bend. It does on all my other ones, go figure. But this one's having troubles. But anyway, as it goes on, you can look at all the other lessons and see how they work. And maybe yours works the right way, and you can go along with those. But in the meantime, I want you to do the 3-hole is actually the key we're in. D. Okay, the 4-hole blow is the G. Now, the next one is our 5 chord, which is going to be an A. That's your 4-hole draw. That's my turkey. That's a 4-hole blow, but just going. Yeah, as weird as that sounds, it's a whole bunch of in and outs real fast. And that gives you. Okay, so what we're going to do is show you on the D chord that the 3-hole blow okay, that's just a blow. And when I go to the G, you can stay right there and do that. Or go up to the 4-hole blow for the, because that's your actual G. And your D back to here, 3-hole blow. When you go to A, you got your, again, your full 4-hole draw. Okay, so that's where all the root notes are at. Now, what I want you to do is this exercise. I want you to do 3-hole blow draw, 4-hole blow draw. Okay. Forward and backwards. Again, my 3-hole draw isn't working real well. So again, 3-hole out and in, 4-hole out and in. And then just backwards, draw, blow, then draw, blow. Okay. Now, when we get up to the 4 hole, I want you to really try to do that toy sucking thing big time. And to do it with intensity differences to try to get it to do. I'm doing thoy, but inward. So you better have a lot of breath out there to get ready to start sucking in. Okay? Now, we're going up to the 5 hole. Now I want you to do the same thing there. We're just going to go 1, out, then in. 2, we're looking at 3rd hole, blow, draw. 4th hole, blow, draw. 5th hole, blow, draw, and backwards. At the end, I just simply went to a 2-hole blow, then back to the 3-hole blow. Okay, so backward. Okay. Now the 5-hole, very cool. Here's a 5-hole. Okay, that's just a cool one to put in here. So that's why I want you to do that particular lick, if you will. 3, 4, and 5, blow, draw, then 4, blow, draw, 5, blow, draw, and then backwards all the way till the 3, blow, 2, blow, 3, blow. Again. Okay. Now, we have 6 as well. It's got a nice bend to it. Okay, again, we're just doing the thoys and toys and woys. Anything that'll make it. I said theoi is what I actually said going in. I'm not saying it, I'm just mouthing it. You know, just pantomiming, but I'm going. You can hear it. Okay, so that is very groovy in and of itself. I'll show you how to use all that in just a second. One quick thing, vibrato. Okay, holding your harmonica between your thumb and your first finger. The other can just stay like this. Okay, having your other hand blocking off the whole thing like it's making a cup around, trying to make it airtight. And then you can move it as slow or as fast as you want to try to clap your hands, you know. But you have. Depending on how slow or fast you move that hand is where you get that cool sound from that you've heard a million times. Okay, so you're playing along. Okay, that's nothing more than getting used to clapping slower or faster, however, depending on, depends on how you want it to sound. Okay, so the bent notes, the thoys. I'm now putting in, sucking in, doing part of the woi with each time like this. and you can tell it's a different sound. If I just do a real slow, but then just rely on my hands for everything, it's like this. But you can tell the other way if I'm going and doing just that at the same time. Whole different ball game. Okay, so our train sounds are doing the thoi things on 4 in, doing a draw, and 5 doing a draw. Okay, you start with your 4 and start adding your 5 hole with it. Okay, actually I'm saying thoya tit tit. Thoya tit tit, thoya tit tit, thoya tit tit, thoya tit tit. Okay, that's how I'm doing it. Thoya tit tit, thoya tit tit. Who'd know that there'd be that many? Who knew there was those kind of words in there? But yeah, you gotta kind of mouth out the words instead of, you don't want to ever go like this. You don't talk. You just mouth out the words while you're sucking in. Okay? Going outward, you're not saying nothing on the blows, but the draws, you got to say stuff to make the harmonica sound bluesish. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. Otherwise, you're... You know, it's like, that's somebody in a jail cell. Okay? Because we need that kind of thing going on. Okay, so with the backing track, and for you to play with it, here is just the 3rd hole doing a blow over top of the D chord. Okay, now when it goes to the G chord, the 2nd chord, get some of the hair out of my strap, you can either go up to the 4 blow, or you can stay on the 3 blow. The 4 blow is the actual chord, so the actual G chord. I'll show you both. See, very boring when you just follow the straight pattern. So with your D, then when it goes to C, very boring. But when you go between the two, you're fine. And if my 3rd hole draw worked, you'd hear a little bit something different. It kind of does, but it's out of tune because it's whacked and I need to get a new one, it sounds like. And so I'll do that as soon as I get off here. So when we get up to the A chord, your 5 chord, that's where the 4 draw comes in. Real strong, real handy. And throw in the 5 draw with it. And that's when you finish up the rest of that lick that I had shown you. Okay, that we'd already went through to get back from the 5 to the 1. It just works out really well. Even at the very beginning, we can use that 4 draw. Okay. So it's the thoys, okay, again, and we could take it right on up to the 6 hole thoy. That's the 4-hole thoy. That there was the 6-hole. Okay, and then finally go into the out. So that was a 6-hole thoy. And when you finally blow out on it again is when it goes back to the 1 chord or the D chord. Okay, because you were at G. Okay, so that's a great place to use that. So again, 4 draw at the beginning instead of doing just the 3rd hole blow because it's the right pitch. Because this is D and I'm hitting a D note. Very boring. So I'm going to do the 4-hole with a little bit of 5-hole to do the train thing right at the beginning. And for the 5 chord, the A chord, that's actually an A note, so we can continue to do it there. But coming out of everything, we can actually go up to that 6-hole bend, which is working very well on here. And you'll hear it. You can play it over top of everything. So again, 4 and 5-hole bend right off the beginning. Okay, so you can hear that one coming in. Again, sorry that some of these notes are dead on this one, but I think you kind of get the idea. Otherwise, go check on the other harps to see how they go along, okay? Because all the other descriptions of this are identical for all the other keys of harmonicas. And again, yeah, the old G harp seems to be breaking down, but hopefully you got the ideas and you can play along with the track and be groovy enough with them. Listen to the keys and the instructions on all the others. They are identical, and it will get you through this key as well. So anyway, you guys stay groovy, and I'm going to go order a new G, and I'll be back for some more picking and blowing and thoying and sucking. Okay, I'm out of here before I say something I'll regret more later.